Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, funny and professional.
I know those things don't go hand in hand with comedians usually.
Yeah, what did I do that was professional?
You just seemed well put together. You didn't
Oh.
seem like. That was the night I took edibles on stage.
Yes, I remember that night vividly.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a fun night. That was a fun night.
You didn't seem like the type of guy to do something like that.
Not presently, but I've done it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You-
Oh, yeah. I went up there on one
You got some stories?
several times. Or, alcohol a lot. Because, alcohol can impair you just as much as an edible.
Yeah.
If you drink enough of it.
Yeah.
If you swallow a little too much.
There's some comics who can get on stage just wasted and it still works is always impressive to me, but
Yeah. Well, it works better in your mind when you're wasted.
yeah.
Because you're like, oh, God, I kill that shit. Oh, my God, I ripped.
Do you so you generally speaking, you're sober on stage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professionalism. You just seem like a guy who takes this craft seriously, but also takes the business seriously. And
Yes, but the thing is, the craft is always first for me. Like, try to be as funny as possible and keep, because I never really put stuff out there that much, unless I thought it was like funny. And it's comic insecurity. I never thought anything was like too funny and just have to get it funnier. And now I need to act out to this and then a tag and a this and a that, and so it's always that. But now you have this new era with the online things going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like everything is out there. I'm seeing one-liners with no laughter in them, and then they get 1 million hits, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All right, let me throw everything out there now.
is that your strategy?
Yeah, right now. Man. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Everything's an open book.
Yeah. It's when did you start stand up?
Oh my gosh, it's been a while, man. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh my gosh, you might have been 12. You
Get
might
the
have been
fuck
in
outta here.
elementary school.
How old are you?
Yeah, 45.
Okay.
45.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're keeping yourself looking very, very slick. It's
Yes,
good.
I preserve myself with tequila and Jägermeister.
You've just pickled your body.
Oh yeah, man.
So you're 45. Okay. So what year did you start stand up?
So I was coming out of college and I went to New York. It was 2021, 2022. But I will say the first 10 years I was just playing around because I was doing print modeling in New York. I left college. First I met an agent here in Chicago.
Okay.
And this guy was like, oh my gosh. And, I was a little younger, slimmer, worked out a little more. He's like, your cheekbones are this. I'm like, is this dude trying to fuck me? He gave me his card. I called him. A week later, I was up in West Allis, Wisconsin, doing a photo shoot for Kohl's. I was there 45 minutes, made like $500. I said, fuck this accounting degree. I'm going to New York and do it. Went there, slept on my friend's floor for a long time. And someone told me, oh, you'll get seen by a lot of casting directors if you do stand-up comedy, yada, yada, yada. But around that time, the print started hitting a little bit, and I was able to eat again. And, so I played around with it for a long time. But honestly, those were my most formidable years. Met a lot of interesting characters.
I can only imagine.
And learned a lot, yeah.
So you started off, you were getting an accountant degree?
After,
yeah. Okay.
After I left. I'm seriously, once I did that shooting for Kohl's, I was hooked. I'll scan it and send it to you so you could put it up in an interview. Like, yeah.
What was it about that experience that hooked you so much?
Which one?
The Kohl's experience, because that sounds like that was the first time in show business of any kind that you really had a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what was it about that feeling that made you want to come back?
Quick money and recognition.
Okay.
Quick money and recognition. Yeah, it's like I was a goofy little skinny kid, big head, braces and all that. Now it's like, oh my God, wait, I saw you do that. And da.
Yeah.
Hey, where were you 5 years ago? 6 years ago, a year ago.
So it just felt good.
It felt good, yeah. Well, it's like it's not like comedy. Comedy's instant gratification. If it works, it works. It's a laugh. You get the endorphins. With that, you still get the gratification once the ad comes out.
Right. It stays there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get you. Comedy is very much, unless you film a great special that goes down as something legendary.
Yeah.
Comedy goes out into the ether at a certain point.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a Glade plug-in somewhere? Why are my eyes watering?
I had.
Do I smell Glade?
I I can put on the incense if you want me to do that.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
No, but Glade kills me. I got allergies, and I could tell when it's a Glade plug-in or a cat.
Okay. No cats. As much as I want a cat, no cats for this exact reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you allergies?
No, I love other people. Like I have people
yeah.
come here to record the podcast, so it's a whole thing.
Okay.
Like I'm a big animal guy. Cats, dogs. Like I'm a softie for that.
Okay, so that means you got a lot of partners that have allergies, and they're like, "Babe, can you put the cat away?"
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
I
get it.
Yeah.
Whenever a guy does something, it's an ulterior motive.
So you grew up. You're from Chicago.
Yeah, grew up in Chicago.
What? How was that for you? I mean, were you proud of it? You happy about that?
It was. You learn a lot growing up in Chicago. I grew up. I was here when it was the gang war season, man. So you learn how to maneuver around things. Like right now, I have this hat and it's a little tilted to the left.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have done that shit when I grew up here, man. That could have been a death sentence.
Can you? Why is that?
Well, Chicago gangs. One gang turns it to the left, one turns it to the right. And if it's like an inch off, they used to run up to people. Hey, Joe, straighten up your hat, Joe. Joe, what did they say? What you own or what you ride? I forget. Oh, what you ride, Joe?
It's so intricate.
Yeah.
Like I had a moment. It's my first Juneteenth here.
Uh-huh.
I took the CTA, took the red line down to fucking 79th.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
79th and State. Yeah. Funny story. It used to be a motel over there, right across from the train station. Yeah. Guys off my block used to go over there. That was their tipping spot.
The tipping spot?
Where they used to sell crack.
Oh, okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from Southern California, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
how do I say this in Cali slang?
That's
the trap house.
If you said that shit, I would immediately be like,
okay. Okay, so instead of saying what you on, Joe, it's like, where you from, homie?
Yeah.
Where you from, home? What you bang, homie?
Uh-huh. Okay. Where your mama stay? Where your grandmama stay?
Yep.
Yeah, it's all that.
What part of SoCal?
I'm from Riverside.
Riverside, okay.
I'm from the desert.
Is that IE?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know Riverside. Mm-hmm. Near Rancho Cucamonga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you get it.
I had an ex from Rancho Cucamonga. I spent some time out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I lived in LA for 2 years.
Okay.
And I have a lot of family out in LA.
You've been all over the place. So you grew up in Chicago, you moved to New York, and you've also been
moved to LA for 2 years, then moved back to New York because I missed that energy like a motherfucker, man.
I haven't been to New York yet.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. What is the...
I can't tell you post-COVID New York. Pre-COVID New York was the shit, bro. But then it started getting really, 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 really violent. So, what was this? I don't remember the year, but like 2 years before I stopped the guy from getting killed. He was getting beat with a brick. Random attack, too. Just started beating this guy with a brick.
No motive, just blind fury.
Just split his fucking wig, yeah. And then a friend of mine who was a ex-pro fighter, and I mean a monster. He fought monsters. Somebody ran up from behind him, punched him in the jaw, broke it in 3 places. I'm like, shit's getting really violent. It wasn't always. I mean, there's always been some stuff when you're dealing with a major city, but those random attacks like that, it's like, how do you defend against it? That's why I say gang violence in Chicago. It's like, ooh, hi, what's going on?
Just stay away.
Just coming here to get a 6-piece with mild sauce.
The older I get, the more I'm so glad that I'm a square relative to when you were a kid, it's like, no, I want to be hard. I need to be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Squares, where's that?
So nice.
Squares live nice and long. Mm-hmm. They get to see grandchildren and
they don't have to go to jail.
Yeah, they get to see more than 4 presidents.
Do you are you married?
Yes.
And how long you been married?
6 years. It'll be 7 years this October.
Congratulations.
Together 11 years on our anniversary.
Wow. Kids?
Yeah, 1.
What is that like, having a kid that you need to take care of while also doing comedy?
I have no answer. Let's go.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
No,
yeah. Let's talk more about violence.
That's all good. No, it's, I guess,
it's like training day. They say they could see it pouring out your eyes. These devil motherfuckers.
You can't let too much out.
Yeah,
I get you. We can
do anything. I'm soft.
It's
I gotta be hard.
I think that's like part of my experience coming from California out here, there has been this perception when I go to South Side or West Side spots where, you know, if you're from Chicago, you can kind of tell when someone's not from Chicago.
Absolutely.
And and there seems to be almost a extra hurdle of respect that needs to be earned, from my experience. Like,
well, where are you talking about? What area?
I'm
area were you in and this took place?
I'm mostly thinking of places like Bartend Doors and Laugh Therapy.
Okay.
And stuff like that. I'm thinking of.
You mean on the comedy scene?
Yeah, in the comedy scene.
Okay,
Scene. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of black rooms where when I get on stage, I feel this. They immediately can tell, like, okay, well,
but you ever notice that only applies to other black people?
Yeah.
Because if you were a white guy from Riverside that went in, oh shit, let's see what he got to say.
Yeah.
Oh, like, boy, that's funny.
It's
why is that though? That always like tripped me out.
Yeah.
How quickly we would get judged in our own communities, but someone who's not from there comes in.
I think the bar is just lower. I think I think for white people in general, this is a staple of my podcast, by the way, is talking about race and shitting.
Okay.
But,
no, I'm not shitting on anyone. Because I'm not have that in me. It's just I just noticed.
Yeah.
That, you know, certain people would get passes and then certain people would get passes revoked for no reason. And it's like, wait, hold on, I'm part of this team, this tribe, and why is it,
I think it's expectation. I think that I don't think people expect, especially in black rooms, I don't think people expect the white people to be good. So when they are,
damn,
yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. So when
I'm about to go to the toilet, I'll be back.
So I think when they show that they have any sort of competency, well, the bar was already low enough. So you've just shown like, oh, you're competent at this, cool,
right?
Whereas, I heard a great quote from black comics that white comics are judged off of the comic right before them, and black comics are judged off of the greats. This nigga's not Bernie Mac. Like, no, I'm not Bernie Mac. You're absolutely
Some
right.
extra pressure, no?
It's so much pressure, but I also think it builds. That's where black excellence comes from. Right. Is this constant pressure to
just be greater than great.
Everything.
The bar's up here. You don't get a chance to work up to that bar. But see, in a way, and I mean all around universally, that's kind of killing comedy because it's like bombing is outlawed.
Yeah.
How do you think greats get great? They tried new shit and they fucking bombed and people just looked and stared and some people was like, oh, I can't take this and was disgusting and walked out. But that's how.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, that's how you get. But now I just see it all throughout comedy. There isn't like bomb. Let me bomb. I can't. Oh gosh, they're never gonna book me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of it. You gotta. It's part of failing is a part of what comedy is. That's kind of what makes it.
Failing's a part of life.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
you know, before you walked, you got up, crawl, fell down on your face, got up and did it again. Why would comedy be any different? Like there are certain processes that one has to go through to develop with anything. At first, you didn't write A right when you wrote on the paper. Then you wrote it, scribbled, and practice. But you were given that chance to stink without being judged. But comedy,
Now, when you started, this had to have been maybe not pre-smartphone, I don't know, but pre-filming everything.
I had a beeper. No, smartphones were around. Damn, I ain't that old, nigga. But I don't think.
It wasn't like
they didn't have cameras on. It was like a BlackBerry, a Nextel. What was the shit you used to? The Nextel. The sidekick. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, the camera thing. No, that wasn't happening.
Yeah. So
it's hard than a motherfucker to get a tape of your set back then.
Yeah.
You had to hire a motherfucker for $500 and then go get VHS tapes. And
so back then, like nobody's filming anything. So there is that lack of pressure. What was it like for you when you first started comedy? What were your strengths? What were your weaknesses? You know, what was your experience?
First start, what was my strength when I first started? I guess, just having the confidence to go up was one. Weakness, probably too full of myself. You know, it was very hard. I used to talk to some of my comedy partners back then. It was very hard that from like say 12 to 3, I would do a photo shoot. You know, oh yeah, great. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Then go wait for 2 hours to get my name pulled out of a bucket to do 3 minutes while everyone wrote in their notebook. And you know, that was just my ego. I'm glad I was able to work through it.
What was it? Just a incremental working through, or was there a moment where it was like, "Oh, this is an ego shattering"?
No, it took 10 fucking years, man, because the roller coaster ride was good, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. It was nothing. New York was amazing. Like, you know, what was it, 201 to 2007, and then I came back 2000. It was just fun. The clubs, and you would go to Life or World or Life, one of them, which was down on Bleecker, and I saw Prince in there one time just doing pirouettes, going in circles. I'm like, it looked like an ice skater as quickly as it. Yeah, it was just fucking fun. And, you know, at the time, comedy wasn't facilitating that for me. It was doing print.
Do you feel as an attractive man?
I was at one time. Now I'm just, you know.
But you know that, like, the stereotype, I would say this is more of a North Side stereotype. The idea that a comic is supposed to be an overweight, schlubby.
Okay, to your point,
Ooh.
I kind of put myself into a state of depression for a while because I thought that's what comedy had to be. And I used to get drunk and do this and do that because I was like, oh, this comedy, you're supposed to be depressed. And this was actually my first funny joke. I was like, you know, comics come here and talk about how they don't get laid and this and they're depressed. I'm like, no, I actually get a lot of pussy. I don't have that depression. How did I trick myself? Because I'm very happy-go-lucky most of the time. But I really tricked myself into that because everyone around, like, yeah, this, that. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, all right.
I know exactly what you mean. There's this. I did the same thing.
Yeah. So, you know, it's, yeah.
This idea that, like, if I'm happy, I must not be funny.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's so... Not backwards,
it's backwards.
All right, let's.
Dude, we have been brainwashed into thinking this is a business of depression, or this is an art of depression, or that all art is an art of depression, and it's not. And you can be in shape and actually be funny and do sit-ups and maybe take your shirt off sometimes, and and actually have a dating life, and not have to be famous to have a great dating life.
Where do you think this stereotype came from?
Well, because most of us are drawn to it, you know, to fill that void, to get the, you know, that the attention, the love. You know, people say, "Oh, that's great, that's that," and most of us are drawn to it, and that usually comes from depression or being teased or being the fat kid or being the skinny kid or this, that, and the other. So, but some people carry it, and some people could, you know, they shake that shit.
Right.
They say, "Yo, I'm about to get a Bally's membership and go work out and shake that shit like dice."
Did you ever used to be the fat kid, or you always been?
Nah, I told you I was skinny, had a crazy ass overbite, a huge head. Like, serious. I do a bit about it, how my neck used to jiggle. Because my head was so big and my neck muscles couldn't control it.
I need to see pictures
Then
of
I
you.
started doing upright rolls, got my trapezius right.
I'm going to do the thing. That stereotype of being all this stuff. Yeah, I had a moment. Moving to Chicago was insurmountable in terms of my skills as a comedian. Like, it made me so much better. I don't know your experiences in California in comedy, but...
Well, it was just hard because it was like driving to a show is like an hour. You couldn't double up and do 2 or 3 shows a night. You know, like when I was doing it in New York, you could do 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 a night because it's like, all right, hop on the subway. And now in some places in the Village, there's like 5 comedy clubs on one block. No joke.
That's crazy. Does it get oversaturated, or is it just so many people?
No, because it's near a college campus, near NYU. So, you know, you have all the college kids. Hey, do you like this political edgy stuff? Yeah. You want to see some newcomers? Yeah. Hey, you're going to only pay $5? Well, this one's $25. You know, so there's a little something for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, where I'm from, I was from like Riverside's not small, but to comedy, in terms of comedy, it's very small. And I got to a point where I felt like I was a big fish in a small pond.
Right.
And I was so right, because I came to Chicago. In my gut, I was like, I shouldn't be getting praised this much. Like, I knew I wasn't that good. And I came out to here and I was like, no, I was right. I was not that good.
That's how the game goes, though, you know?
And it got me way better.
And it happens multiple times. And then, you'll be at a room and you're like, I'm slaying here. Wait a second. All right, let me go to the club. Ooh, shit, I got to write some more. Yeah. All right, then you're killing at that club. Let me go ooh, shit, I got to write some more. And then you work with a big dog and just say,
some of these.
This guy's doing physical comedy. He's doing voices. He's doing impersonations. Yeah. He's talking about complex subjects. Ooh, got some more work to do. Then you're watching that, it's constant growth. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I find, is not to beat yourself up about it. Just see it and work on it. It's like boxers. You ever box or spar?
So I'm jiu-jitsu.
Okay, so hey, you get hit with that jab, I got to start moving my head. You get hit in the body. Let me bend my knees and keep my elbow. You just constantly growing, not beat yourself up about it.
Adjustment and to me, it's like it's adjustment and humility. Mm-hmm. It's just like, okay, well, that didn't work. We'll just try it again. It's fine.
Exactly.
And speaking to the whole stereotype of comedians, I remember I have a bit of an anger issue.
Hence the jiu-jitsu, I figured that out. Like, ooh, this nigga crazy. Let me calm down in this interview.
No, I just like, there's certain topics.
Is it anger issues though, or are people full of shit? That's what I always ask myself, because you're focusing inward on this, but what's triggering that?
It's usually white people.
God damn!
I'm telling you.
And on today's racial podcast, god damn, bro.
I want to clarify, it's from trauma. It's from
Riverside, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's not good. It's really bad. And I visited, I when I moved out here, I was out here for 3 years, hadn't been back, visited this past December. As soon as I got back, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I see why I'm mad. I get it. Like, this is not a place that's safe for me.
You don't feel safe there, or you just feel like abused verbally? Like, what's unsafe?
Getting jumped.
You got jumped by
neo-Nazis. Black?
Oh, really?
No. I never had.
What they have, like the lowriders or something out there? Or?
That's more the Chicano. That's like L.A.
Okay. No, I mean what they used to call the Nazi lowriders. Were they skinheads?
Skinheads. Where I was from, it was like a cop neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And
that's where they all live. The cops that work in LA, they retire, they go out
and
to
they
the
go to Riverside. Yeah. And their it's generations of cops. Yeah. So I would go to church, all white church, all white Baptist church. Mm-hmm. But everyone there, they have family members or friends that are cops. I'm getting fucked with. I go there and I tell them, like, hey, not all the cops are your friends from my experience. Yeah. Granted, I was not that eloquent about it because I was a young middle school boy and I was fucking aggressive about it. But, people would not. These are all white people having their. Let me breathe, Aaron. Breathe, and let's put this together.
Dramatic, yeah.
I've come to the realization that people live in their own worlds, and in my world, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm sure there's a thing going on in France right now, for example. I don't fucking know, though, because it's not my world. I understand that the world I was in, I'm the black person, and everyone else is white, and so they're living in this world where they don't see my perspective. Mm-hmm. My issue that I take is when I am articulate, when I'm saying, like, I'm having an issue here, and it's being ignored.
Right.
It's being ignored, or it's being dismissed, or I'm being told I'm lying for whatever reason. So that anger comes up because this was every day between someone saying you're a good black person to getting jumped and everything in between.
You're one of the good Negroes.
I know,
Here,
right?
Take this.
I love how he smiles. It's crazy.
Oh wow,
it's crazy. Trying to touch your hair and do this.
Oh, I used to have a huge fro. I used to hate that shit. Yeah.
And so that anger, I think it's justifiable anger, but it's not anger I want to exist in. Mm-hmm. And so,
but you have to say too, is it's a select group of people.
Yeah.
It's it's not everyone. We can't hit everyone with the same brush, because then it works both ways. People could hit black people with the same brush. Because I have this thought. I say it comes to a point where every prosperous black person has to make a decision. Stay in the hood or move to the suburbs. And no one has chose the hood yet.
Yeah, or Offset,
Let's
but
be
that didn't work out for Offset.
Did he rapper that got shot?
He got shot. Yeah.
Is he alive?
No, he's very much dead. He got shot in the head.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like, then I started thinking, where is that safe space then?
I don't think there is.
Because I have that, you grow up in certain neighborhoods. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I was like right on the borderline. You either this or that. And, you understand? And it was very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned.
And I mean, like, the thing that would get me is people that grew up together would, I'll do the woke thing. They would unalive each other.
Sure.
And like literally went to elementary school, high school. And I mean, we're friends until this one left this gang to go to this gang and this, that, and the other. And yeah, it's like, so where is that space?
I think for me, it's
Well, we know it's not Riverside.
it's definitely not Riverside. It is Chicago. I love Chicago.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Well, Chicago's segregated as fuck too, bro.
It
Like,
is.
let's be real about it.
And I like that.
At least when I grew up, when I was here. I don't know. Now it's a little different, I will say, from what I'm seeing in spurts, but
I'm going to word this completely the wrong way. It's actually a bit I'm working on anyway.
Okay.
But I like that it's segregated.
Yeah.
I don't like the political and the socioeconomic effects of that segregation.
Right.
But I like that I can go to a fucking Ukrainian neighborhood and see Ukrainian culture.
Yeah.
I can go to.
You like okay.
There is a. I think people self segregate, and even taking race out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
If I go into a room with painters and musicians and comedians, most of the comedians are going to come together, the painters are going to come together, and the music. Whoever you connect with, you want to be around.
Absolutely.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's when those groups then attack each other is when there's a problem.
Well, so say those groups. So each group has different interests.
Mm-hmm.
And say the attack's not based off something that's aesthetics. It's just based off survival, economics, what have you.
It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I see a lot of things a lot of things we think may be blatant racism and hate. Some of it's just economics.
Yeah.
Some of it's just survival. And some of it's racist as fuck. But it's hard to decipher which is which.
Right.
But then you just take the stance. Fuck it. I just have to go for mine.
Yeah.
Protect myself no matter what it is.
I think that's where I'm at. I'm just like.
Yeah.
I
could tell. I know the heavy bag knuckles. I see that you got heavy bag knuckles. I'm looking like, oh shit, jujitsu, heavy bag knuckles. This motherfucker is serious. I know the heavy bag knuckles, man. Oh yeah, that's with 4-ounce gloves or either bare hands. That's not even 8-ounce heavy bag knuckles. He's hitting that shit, bang. Don't fuck with Aaron, y'all. I'm serious. Yeah, you have to know. See, most guys nowadays that kill me, they don't know how to pick up certain clues. Ooh. Heavy bag knuckles, cauliflower ears, tap out T-shirts. It's certain things where you can look at and be like, yo, or thick ass neck and traps, where you're like, this is not the one to fuck with. Or cuts, you could tell that just healed, stitches, you could tell they got sliced with an elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that kind of masculinity is missing a lot lately.
Really?
Oh fuck yeah! Where people could okay
feel out, yeah,
feel people out, and
the jujitsu has really humbled me in that way.
Ass whooping to do that.
Oh my god,
But ass whooping to do. I remember sparring the first time. How long is this round, nigga? It just started. It's like boom, boom. Oh shit.
5 minutes will be the longest 5 minutes of your life.
It seemed like a headlining set in a room that's cold.
Mm-hmm. It's and the masculinity level of things. Like I really do think more young men need to learn need to learn how to fight. Like
to learn how to fight martial arts. Need to learn how to It's about to be a shooting going down. I better get out here. Like some signs I see people don't pick up on at all. like younger guys. I'm like, you didn't see that. Like, okay, you ever see someone, two people arguing, they face to face like this, and then one be like, man, why you got to do this? I'm like, he about to knock this nigga out because he done got that angle. And I'm like, you didn't see that coming? How you gonna let him turn perpendicular to you like that? And you just how?
I think it's because of your experience in the South. I think it goes back to people live in their own world.
Sucker moves. It's like you never fight somebody if you have a hoodie on, because they're gonna grab the hoodie head now. It's just certain things, but I see it happen all the time now. I'm like, back up, bop.
Yeah.
Let him get that angle.
But you've come from a place where you've seen that and you've experienced.
Oh, multiple times.
I
never got. I saw the angle for the first time. Now is every time somebody set up that angle, step back, out of range. I'm like the equivalent to Floyd Mayweather with street defense.
Yeah,
distance, bro.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's better having high defense.
I never have to throw a punch. Distance. No, he's getting that angle. Take a big step back. Throw it if you want. You're going to fall.
So you're dangerous, too, because the way you talk about this, I know you're talking about my knuckles, but the way you're discussing things.
I won't say I'm dangerous. I know how to say safe.
Yeah, that's a dangerous
Just like when I was like,
statement.
hey, I got to put something in my car. I was like, oh, I can't bring that in homeboy's house. All the weed and coke up in here. That's 10 years for each bullet.
God damn it.
No, I just know how to stay safe. I think, you know, it's after, I don't know if it's after a certain age, but after a certain amount of experience, you realize your safety is in your hands. You know, people like, oh, you don't want to do that. You go to jail for, hey, shit, judged by 12 or carried by 6. Which would you choose? And you could protect yourself legally now with firearms if you don't have felonies and things. But, hey, if somebody stomp you out, I mean, hey, it take the police a minute to get there. You better learn how to
do something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Run fast, choke holds, arm bars, or shoot.
I think this is the part where, like, this is the dichotomy of me. Where on one end I'm the knuckles guy who's angry and the white people.
I think I'm be honest from what I'm saying. The knuckles part of you is one, nigga. I could tell because I know hitting that bag the first and then that skin rip and then the blood and it hurt.
Just keep going.
You kept going. You kept going.
All right, you got to build them calluses.
Yeah, that part is I mean, you should be proud of that though, because like it's the whole new trend of things where it's like, oh, you did this and that, you shouldn't do it. Fuck that. Protect yourself.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Fuck all that bullshit, man. Protect yourself.
Thank
really.
You. And that's where
you did the right thing.
I appreciate it.
Keep going.
It makes me happy. It keeps my anger low, so I stay out of fights.
Right.
Like I get beat up twice a week. I'm good. I don't need to be in anymore. And I get beat up on nice squishy mats.
You ever notice though, people who can fight the best are usually the the least likely to fight in the public on the streets.
When I go to my jiu-jitsu gym, the most dangerous people there always have big smiles on their faces.
Yeah, exactly.
No. But to bring it to comedy and the anger, because I was gonna say something. It was
it's the same as the fighting. You know, the funny is pretty much emotional calluses.
Yeah.
Because you take all that angry shit and find some way to make it funny to give you the win over whatever it is that's making you angry or hurt or sad or disappointed.
There would be times where I would get on and I would let the anger the anger would outweigh the funny. And I remember I've had a few comics who kind of lean into the stereotype of the depressed comic who are like, no, you're funny, man. You're so funny because you're angry. You just need to be angry. And no,
you're so funny because the people are laughing.
Well, I think it's authenticity.
Yes.
I wouldn't just. It's not that it's angry. It's that the anger is authentic.
But there's a lot of funny in there. It's just growing pains. Just like, hey, shit, my knuckles, that callus is coming. And I'm like, that is the funniest, angriest Negro I've ever seen in my life.
Does race play a big factor in your life, or do you feel like it's something that you don't? Race
plays a big factor. Not really, but I get angry at some things, probably in a reverse way. I think we're being duped.
I'm listening.
Usually when people pretend to be our friends or think act like they care too much, is some sort of nefarious plot behind it. You know, you see them come in. Oh, girl, you don't need a man, and your body, your choice. Then they get in the Range Rover and drive to the suburbs to their husband and 3 kids. That's some hell of a trickery, right? Why is that? You know, do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel like I do, and I want to hear more so that I'm not making assumptions.
Well, I got a joke I do. It's like, why you want to defund the police in the most dangerous areas in the city, right? And then at the same time let a lot of people out of jail, and then at the same time try to ban guns, and at the same, so you have no police protection, no guns, and you let people out that may have not been rehabilitated. What does one do? What does your grandma do when she's walking with the grocery bag down the street?
I have responses.
No, tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to work. I've come to realize that growing up, when I would disagree, I would word things like an asshole, which is not necessary.
Word them like an asshole. I can take it.
I understand what you're saying.
Right.
First off, I'm not anti-gun. I think, yo, it's a crazy world out there. You got guns, cool. I think that there's a gun fetishization that's a little weird. When you have an arsenal, that's a whole other thing to me. If I have
it depends.
Ooh, okay, I'm listening.
It depends, because all right, you need a shotgun to go hunting. Like I go pheasant hunting. You need a shotgun to go pheasant hunting.
That's the hat. That's the pheasant's hat.
So I started out wanting to do deer, but I'm like in a fucking small SUV. It's like, where am I gonna put this fucking deer if I kill it? It's like a 300-pound buck. So pheasants, they're easier to transport. Yeah. So pheasant hunting, you need shotgun for that. Concealed carry. What are you gonna do? Pocket carry, shoulder holster. You need one for that. Say you like shooting a target or going ski shooting. Yeah. So I mean,
I think,
and then just basic protection. When the shit hits the fan, you might need an AR.
Did
you see what people did when it was a toilet paper shortage? What's gonna happen when there's a food shortage?
You're not wrong. My issue is, it makes me very sad that we do not have a strong enough community and social stability to where that won't be an issue. Like all that anger I have comes down to fear and sadness for me. Like,
of course.
And it makes me so sad that that we have to, that you are correct, essentially.
But what if that's just life, though? If
do the thing.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So what if that's just life? If a gazelle could get an AR-15 to protect itself against lions, do you think it would?
Probably, I'd imagine so.
All right. So what if that's just life, and we fooled ourselves into thinking we're these civil people that we're really not? If you look throughout history, humans really aren't that
we
civil.
Do crazy shit to each other.
Very crazy shit.
And it makes me sad.
Are you into history at all? Have you seen the rack, and when people get drawn, I say, God damn, they used to tie niggas down and tweak it till they stretch to their spine pop.
They got bored, and so they did crazy shit to torture people.
And put them on spikes, and Vlad the Impaler would stick a spike up somebody's ass and let them hang on there till it fell through their colon and all this. You don't think those people would have did whatever to protect themselves? Wish they had something?
I agree. I think
because humans have a huge propensity to do evil shit. Even though, and that's why I say, we there's a lot of people come around. They're very nice, and but if shit hits the fan, that they will turn on us quick. And they're making decisions that weaken us, not strengthen us.
Who is they?
I would say woke people.
Ooh, okay.
Woke non-black people usually make or have agendas for black people that make us weak as shit.
Okay.
Well, you know what? This is not fair. This is cultural. We're gonna drop the bar. So my son here, little Timmy, he can read 1,000 words, but you're not like Timmy. You can only read 50. So now the bar is dropped. So now you're gonna feel stigmatized and know that you're lesser than. all the way through and know that the bar was dropped. Instead of saying, you know what, you're going to have to learn 950 more words and keep up, because it's not equity. It's not fair, because he's still going to have that lead on you no matter what. So instead, it's like with jiu-jitsu. It's like if you, all right, well, shit, goddamn, all you know is an arm bar. So we're going to say if you get an arm bar, you win. Or if I beat you with anything but, I win. No, it's like you're going to have to go, and it's going to be equal no matter what. There's no curve, so to speak, in life. I probably worded that very not shitty, but I know the idea in my mind. But
I'm trying to, because I feel like I get where you're going and I get what you're saying.
But if you people step up to levels, or people will become what you force them to be, or what they need to be to survive. And if you lower it, they will stay there. Okay, they do experiments, right? You know, a grasshopper would jump up like this. You put it in a cup, and it only jumps up this far. Once you take it out, it will still only jump up this far, even though it could jump up this high. And I think that's what a lot of these curves and things are doing to us.
Okay. Okay. I think
okay, you're in jiu-jitsu class. Hey, okay, you're gonna learn arm bars. You guys are gonna learn arm bars, chokeholds, kicks, and everything else. Do you think that is helping you? That they lowered the bar for you?
Yes and yes. So, for example,
if you're in jiu-jitsu and then you have to go in an all-out fight, and now all you know is an arm bar, but they know everything else.
So I'll use my last class. Well, what today? Yesterday. Was it yesterday? We did King of the Hill. So all the white belts lined up, and then everyone who was a blue belt and up got in guard on the floor. And our goal as the white belt was to simply escape. Okay. That was the goal. And the goal, and if we could get past their, and I know I'm going inside baseball here, but if you could get past their guard, even if you get to quarter guard, the white belt won. The blue belts and up had to keep us in their guard, and then they had to submit us, or they had to sweep us. So the people with the higher belts had a more difficult task at hand. They were still able to beat all of us because they've had those skills. So what they did was they broke down one simple thing to focus on, get very good at that thing. Now it's time for the next thing. And we build on the next thing. Then we build on the next thing.
But would the bar be permanently lowered?
No, it wouldn't stay the same.
Exactly. The bar now is staying the same, if not.
So
do you understand what I'm saying?
I think I'll try to put it in my own words.
Okay.
Are you saying that when you say woke, you're essentially saying liberal white people? Yeah. Okay. Liberal white people are doing things. First off, I don't like liberal or conservative white people. I think that they are two sides of the same coin. That I think that liberal white people are trying to nice us to death, and conservative white people are trying to mean us to death, but they're still trying to kill us. I think whether there's no incentive for either of these groups to lessen their power.
But doesn't that meanness make you sharpen your sword versus someone rocking you? No, versus someone rocking you to sleep. So my friend, he's an old heroin dealer. Well, he passed away. Old heroin dealer in Harlem. He taught me that concept about rocking to sleep.
Sure.
Rocking it. Oh, hey man, it's fine. No, it's cool. Yeah, you want to go out for a drink?
My feelings on it are, I appreciate the bluntness. I'm glad that I don't have to suss you out. With liberal white people, I have to suss them. I have to figure out. It's
the lion and the fox.
Yeah. But the problem with the rhetoric of like, well, at least they're being blunt with the racism, is it allows them to feel comfortable in what they're doing in the first place, which is still bad. So I don't like either. I think that they're fucked up. And coming from a place of being around these people and having them very bluntly say to my face, "You're a nigger. We don't like you. Get the fuck out of here."
God damn.
And getting jumped, getting attacked, getting condescended to, like, they're, and I know this is gonna sound extreme, but fucking evil, like really deep, dark evilness I've seen. And I've seen it from the, as you would put it, I don't like using the word woke, because it was started off as something cool that black people
This
had.
was something cool as fuck. Then it got hijacked.
And they got hijacked. Right.
It got hijacked, and yeah, he woke, man.
Yeah.
That brother. Because when I used to hear woke, it was dreadlocks and a dashiki. Somebody with incense and body oil. You dig? Now it's.
And I don't like that either. I don't like that they find.
I think that's more dangerous, though.
I think it's different types of danger. I don't even think it's.
I think being rocked to sleep is the most dangerous danger. Like, okay, if someone's outwardly attacking you, you know to prepare this, that, and other. Someone's rocking you to sleep. By the time you realize it, it's over.
I think this is going to be one of those things where, like, I hate the word or the phrase "agree to disagree."
No, it's not agree to disagree. It's
a perspective thing.
Yeah, it's perspective.
I don't think you're wrong.
Like if you grew up on the South Side, you may have the same perspective. Sure. If I grew up in Riverside, it's just a perspective thing, and I don't think it's disagreement. I think that's where the problem comes with us, where we always think we're on this side or this side or this side. We just have to say, hey, it's a team. We all have the same uniform.
And I want, and that
the wide receivers, hey, throw it. The running back is like, hey, hand it off to me. I can run this. But you know what? They both want the team to win.
Yeah.
And that's what I see it as.
And I would like.
And plus, you have very callous knuckles. I don't want to disagree.
My knuckles can't beat your bullets, though, so.
Got to get to the bullets first. No, I'm joking.
But no, I appreciate your ability to articulate your points.
Thank you.
I've met people who. Nigga, shut up. That's gay. Like this. I've met people who just.
That's when you haven't dealt with that. That's when the callus not there. That's when the sword is raw, emotionally. Raw. Hey, it's bullshit. I ain't this motherfucker talking about this, that. No. There's a why for everything, and
I think you're a smart guy. I think you are very, like I said, professional, mature. You're funny. You are thoughtful. I don't think you come to your beliefs lightly.
No, it was a lot of things. Like I said, with the saving the guy's life, I would probably say I was for gun control. A second before I saw the first brick strike against his head, I said, you know what? People should probably have guns or be allowed. And then like seeing certain crimes committed growing up, it makes me realize there's a need for prisons and a legal system. Mm-hmm. And sometimes what people would consider harsh laws.
I don't have a problem.
And you wouldn't know unless you're on the other side of that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
For me, okay. So then can't wait to go in the
just take the people that jumped you, right? You want them to be in jail. They should get some decent time for that. Mm-hmm. It was an attack. It could have been attempted murder. If it was more than 2, 3.
Fucking 4. I want to say
4. Okay, that could be attempted murder. Mm-hmm. Just the number disparity. Like, okay, if you had a firearm, you would be you could claim self-defense easily because of the number disparity.
Now, okay, we'll take my situation. Yeah. Right? First off, the system isn't built to get those kids in trouble.
No, but theoretically it should be. Yes. So I'm working off theory here. I'm not okay. Okay. I'm working off theory when I'm saying this. In theory, 4 guys jump you, they should get arrested. Attempted murder, if they were stomping involved, this, that, and other, heinous assault. Mm-hmm. Theoretically,
yes. And theoretically, had I had a firearm, I mean, I was these incidences.
Firearm, you can't run, you can't retreat. They're up on you. You could let off.
But
most states. But theoretically, I'm saying if everything's equitable, there's my father's a judge thing.
In assuming theory, yes, all of those things theoretically. Mm-hmm. I think that, in fact, conservative belief systems are really great theoretically. That's
how they got me.
That's right. Theoretically.
That's why I'm on that thing. I think it's the best way. Theoretically, it's still, hey, this is still a jungle. You need to protect yourself.
Yeah. Theoretically.
Yeah. And then things change, of course.
Yeah, but in the practical reality is where...
Well, the rhetoric never matches the ethic with most things.
We'll use good guy, bad guy with a gun. In theory, that makes sense.
Yes.
In practice, well, bullets don't fly directly. You're not John Wick, nigga. You're not gonna hit headshot every time. Bullets hit random strangers. Sometimes your gun doesn't fucking work. Sometimes there's multiple good guys and multiple bad guys.
Get a revolver. They never jam. Sure.
But sometimes,
or keep that semi-auto clean.
Sure, but there are so many. We don't live in a vacuum, and there's so many extra factors.
No, there are always a lot of variables, but I'm just saying theoretically.
Theoretically, yeah. And I think what frustrates me about it's sort of like it is hard to work in theory when the reality is hurting you.
Ooh, bars. Hard to work in theory when the reality is hurting you.
Right. Yeah. We could talk about.
Well, you have to. Then at that point, you have to adjust the theory to the reality.
Yeah. And so, to me, adjusting good guy with a gun, bad guy with a gun to reality creates gray.
Right.
It means I don't reiterate.
Well, the reality of it all, first and foremost, is self-preservation.
Sure.
That's number one. What's going to preserve you the longest, or what's going to help you get home or to your jail cell, whichever one. Self-preservation, number one. Law of the jungle.
Yeah. And within that self-preservation, when I'm dealing with white people in particular, mm-hmm. I'm used to conservative and liberal theoretical bullshit mm-hmm. that gets in your head.
Right.
Growing up, there would. Okay, here's an example. And it's an example I've used so much, but here we are. I remember I was an all-white church, and I had this youth pastor. Mm-hmm. He was like my older brother, white guy. All of them were white, and I very much looked up to this guy. It's very important to me. And I remember we were talking about white people and the N-word and all of that, and I'm the one black person in this space saying, yeah, I would prefer y'all not say that word. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, well, Aaron, there's niggers of every race. I'm quoting him, there's white niggers, and there's black niggers, and there's Mexican niggers, and there's Asian niggers. And he was referencing Chris Rock's niggas versus black people bit.
Right.
He doesn't understand, again, he's living in his world. He doesn't understand the nuances of black people in our own community, seeing the difference between niggas and black people. And I'm sure you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
To him,
I'm very well acquainted.
Yeah, to him, he's just hearing something completely different. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't even have the self-awareness to not realize what he is doing to this young black boy who continues to bring up racism and continues to get jumped and continues to deal with all this bullshit, that he doesn't even have the wherewithal to not be saying this to me right in this moment, mm-hmm. where I'm surrounded by a bunch of grown white adults. To me, in theory, I understand what he's saying in theory, but I'm a kid, and this isn't theory. This is my reality. So I can appreciate the discussion. I like philosophical discussion. I like the back and forth. I think it's interesting. Mm-hmm. I think it's fascinating when I take a step back and I'm like, oh, wow, that's interesting how that person thinks. But on a survival level, it's like, oh, I can't be around you. I can't fuck with you. We can't be friends. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to try to get in my head. You're going to try to make me feel lesser. You're going to try to manipulate me. And I'm not having it. I'm preserving myself.
That's where the self-preservation comes in, yes.
And so I think with the rhetoric that you've brought, I think if it's working for you, I can't hold you. I can't say, hey, don't believe it. Like, if it's working for you, you got the hat, you got the slick hat, you got the V-neck, you chilling. Like, and if it's working for you, it's working for you. Yeah. And I'm coming to a place of accepting.
Well, which part you're saying, if it's working for me, it's working for me?
What I would describe as what I interpret as more conservative beliefs.
Uh-huh. Oh, gotcha.
If your more conservative beliefs are working for you as an individual and you're happy, I've come to a place of accepting, like, okay, well, you are happy and I'm not. Yeah.
I'll say I don't even know if it's the end all be all, but growing up here, living in New York, mm-hmm. living in LA, all democratic places, fucked up for black people. Mm-hmm. Very bad. So why not give the antithesis a try? Why not give the opposite a try? Why?
Are you? I can't tell if that's rhetorical.
That is a question.
As a person that lived around the opposite and was forced to assimilate to the opposite, that also didn't work.
So we need a third option.
I think the third option is kill. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Get these knuckles.
No.
The third option to me, and it goes back to that whole segregation thing, which is why I don't have an issue with it. Find your tribe. Find the people you feel safe around, and you ride with that. When I moved to Chicago, I found my tribe. I found my people that got my back, and I got theirs. We're riding together. Fuck everybody else. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Right. And we can be chill. And if you come into my space, well, that's when the knuckles come out, and that's when the bullets come out.
Right.
And to me, it's find the people that work for you. And if you're a fucking skinhead and you're go hang out with your skinhead friends.
Be where you're gonna be.
Stay the fuck away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there's a fear, and I know get ready, white America. I think there's this fear that black people want to take over, or the Mexicans want to take over America. It's like, no, nigga, I want to be left alone.
Just want to be left alone to do my own thing and not be fucked with. And do what I want when I want to. What do you think about Biden though? He's a Democratic president.
Oh my God.
What do you think about Trump?
I can't stand any of. Okay, here's.
Okay, so when I say, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when I say think about them, I mean their actual effect on things. Like, so I hear people, like when Biden was like, "Oh, if you don't vote for me, or if you're gonna vote for me, you're not black." I'm like, the audacity.
That's crazy.
Especially when a lot of his policies put a lot of black men in jail for cocaine versus crack, and he spearheaded that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
Trump?
You think of boy Trump, right? Mm-hmm. He did what we asked for. Let him out of jail. He let a lot of people out of jail. What's his name? ASAP Rocky that was in Sweden.
Kodak Black.
Whatever. And he was like, if you don't let him go, you'll never see another U.S. dollar again. He was going to give $100 million to historically black HBCs. Yeah.
So you want
saying that anything. I'm just saying.
You want my opinions of these people?
Yeah.
I feel
break down the good and the bad, because I mean, everyone has good, everyone has bad.
I feel sad that I have yet to experience an election where I voted for someone I wanted to, instead of voting against someone I'm trying to hopefully not have to be the president.
Yeah.
I have yet to experience like, oh, sure, I'm excited about this candidate. And that's so fucked up. But outside of that, to speak to those two, but before Trump became president, my belief or my philosophy was that the president's a figurehead. He doesn't do anything really. This is 2016, 2015, 16. I was like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to vote for Trump because I don't like Trump and I think he's ignorant and I don't agree with the things he's saying. He's being a fucking crazy person. But when he became president, I was like, yeah, but I mean, it'll be fine. And what I realized through those first 4 years and through doing stand-up was it's less in terms of the president. I can't speak to the other parts of our systems here, of the laws and the redlinings and all the stuff, but just the president. To me, the president's job is dictating the vibe. And that guy, Trump, does not dictate a chill vibe. He riles motherfuckers up and he makes people very angry. On both sides of he riles up his base and makes them angry at fucking migrants, and he makes them angry at this and makes them angry at that, and then he riles up liberals because he's saying offensive non-woke shit and he's making them angry. He's just a motherfucker that makes the party feel really aggressive. And in my experience of growing up around conservative people,
gotcha.
It was like they were at this level. I know I'm doing hand movements; they can't see it, but
I'm doing like this.
Yeah, they were they were here at their level.
I'm gonna sign what you're doing. Keep going.
They were here with their level of anger and their racism and whatever they were. And I'm sure internally, I can't.
No, come on.
I'm sure internally there was all of that anger.
Right.
And every year that went by, Trump turned it up. And he turned it up, and he made it more blatant, and they got more confident about it, and they got more open about it, to the point where I also had to buy guns and shit just to protect my house from these fucking people. And because I'm the only black person around.
Gotcha.
And they know what I look like, and they know that they don't, and I know they don't like me.
Well, it's a uniform. It's like being in the army.
Sure.
We have a uniform.
And so with Trump, my thing isn't even, I can't speak to the politics because I'm tired, and at a certain point I was like, this isn't healthy for me to keep paying attention.
I'm noticing that with all of us though. Like we just all seem burnt out, tired, exhausted.
I'll get to Biden too.
Yeah.
And
I mean, just every direction though. Everything.
I'm tired. I'm very tired.
Yeah.
In terms of politics, in my life, my day-to-day life, I'm so happy. But and when we get into this stuff, it makes me just livid. But he was a person who was a liar, a manipulative, and a narcissist, and he riled these people up, and here we are, cats out of the bag. Now they are what they are. And then with Biden, I voted for Biden because I was against Trump for another 4. I was like,
he riled a lot of people up too.
Yeah,
I'm saying in the 90s,
I'm gonna get into him too.
The ethnic jungle. Okay, sorry.
But it was like I can't do another 4 years. Like that the first time I was like, it'll be fine.
Right.
And I was like, fuck, man, I'm tired. I don't want it. This is crazy. Just anything but this fucking guy right now, and so I had to vote for Biden because I was like, that like you've stripped Bernie Sanders of any opportunities.
That's another thing that flipped me to this view. I was feeling the burn,
same,
and the way they fucked him over. They had to get Hillary, and they just had to. And people would say you were sexist if you would pick him over Hillary. Yo, you just don't want to vote for him, and all this shit. And the way they fucked him over, and how I started seeing liberals turn to what they said conservatives were. I started seeing it. If you were pro-Bernie, that's another thing that just made me say it. Yeah. This shit is going the wrong way.
So
it's going the wrong way in a major way. Trying to abandon ship. It goes back to that Sixth Sense. I saw the liberals angling off on us like this. I'm like, move out the way. Here comes the punch.
With Biden, between the two, I don't like either. So let's get that out of the way. Yeah. Don't like either. Between the two, I would rather have Biden be president because at least he is asleep.
What do you mean?
I mean, I would rather have the guy that is asleep and just not even there, and I can mind my business, than the guy who's wide awake on methamphetamines riling people up. Both options suck. We should have a leader that is there and not 70 whatever, not 80 whatever.
We need like a 50-year-old, 60-year-old president. Yeah. Someone that's going to be around to see the consequences of their decisions.
Shit. So I'm just tired, dude. Like when it comes to all of it, I'm disillusioned, and at this point I'm like, okay.
Let me ask a question,
Go ahead.
A legitimate question. Do you think that's part of the plan to just burn us the fuck out so that we forget about other things, business interests, financial interests, love interests,
I think that
the future, because a lot of us are really on edge right now.
Yeah. I think that
I've seen families broken up over this conversation we're having now.
I think justifiably so.
Yeah.
I think that all of this coupled with the internet, when the internet, you watch Black Mirror?
Nah.
Oh, dude.
What's that about?
It's an anthology series. So every episode's its own story, and it's essentially plays with a hypothetical technology. It's hard to put into words. I would highly suggest it.
Black Mirror's Netflix thing?
Yeah, I'll send you a trailer.
Started today, yeah.
Yeah.
I have Netflix.
I think the internet is not inherently evil or good. It just is. It's this tool that we have now used in a way that is insane.
Information goes around a lot quicker,
Yeah, and
including anger.
It's all too much.
Yeah.
I don't think humans are
sensory overload. It's like we're walking in Times Square every day.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I think it's too much for people. And I don't even think, I know you said, well, what's the plan? What's the trickery? I don't even think, I mean, there's individual plans that we all have, but I think it's everyone's natural human behavior coupled with the internet that has taken us to the place we're at now.
I kind of see us going to war, bro.
Civil war?
I think yes, but I think it's going to be based mostly on ideology. But race is going to play a huge factor, especially people visibly different from other people. And probably world war.
I think so too.
The tensions are too high.
Huh?
You ever see The Godfather?
Yeah, a long time
One
ago.
when he said you need a war like this every 5-10 years to clean out the bad blood.
Yeah. I think there's another way it goes. There's a
It's no way we're gonna avoid it though. The tensions are too high. Things are
It's just gonna hit the fan.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna protect my friends and my family. And that's about it.
Have you been working on that plan? Have you been prepping?
I got my.
You got your canned goods and your ready meals.
There's a charger in there. I've been slowly preparing for this shit. There's a charger in there that you wind up.
Crank radio.
I got my car battery that has a converter here, so I can get
very smart. The jumper one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got. I'm gonna get those water filter things,
the straws,
it's a even higher tech one.
So how is this is our second conversation, and we have the exact same thoughts about the future. That's why I said it's not agreeing to disagree. It's basically self-preservation and perspective.
I think we both,
it's like this.
We both get to the same point, but from very different
ways.
Angles. There's, from what I gather, and we haven't, I've been, when I bring people into my apartment,
so there's a lot of trust involved bringing someone into your dwelling.
Yeah. And I,
because black people secretive. We usually don't let a motherfucker know where we live.
You see how dirty it is right now? It's real bad.
But I have people, listen, I had an uncle, I didn't even know Uncle Scooter. And then we went to his funeral and it's on there. I was like, who is Marlon?
Yeah.
Like Uncle Scooter. I said Uncle Scooter's name was Marlon all my life, 35 fucking years. I never knew his real name because black people are secretive. So when I was like, oh, we're going over to his house to do this interview, I'm like, all right, he trusts me.
I want to provide a space that is as comfortable and honest as possible.
Right.
My goal, to talk a little bit about this podcast, it's we have enough comedy podcasts where everyone's talking and making jokes. We have enough of that. Mm-hmm. And I want to see what a person is, who you are, whether I agree or I disagree, whether I like it or don't like it. I want to see who you are, and I want to provide a space for you to be you.
In a nutshell, I think we're the same people, just from different, fearful, been through trauma, and we'll go to certain extents to protect ourselves from that happening again. It's just we probably experienced the trauma from different
perspectives.
Yeah, that's it.
That is, I think, a good way to describe it. It seems like
it's like we're saying a different thing, but you're saying it in Mandarin, I'm saying it in Cantonese. Same shit, it just sounds different. Same language though.
I'm gonna say I agree, and I see what you're saying. I normally end the podcast with a thing that I do. I'll ask the question. We'll do it. We'll end it the normal way.
Okay.
But it doesn't feel.
No, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead. Stay on code, brother. Don't code switch for me. Don't code switch for the the black semi-conservative. I won't say all the way. Black semi.
Before I.
But most black people usually in the black church are usually conservative. At least their views, they just vote Democrat.
Yes. Before we do the thing and we end it, What does it feel like? You say semi. You would not say you are a full conservative.
No, how can I be? I grew up in Chicago, South Side. How could I be? See, this is the fucked up part. People really want to take certain cards and ethnic identity cards and all this because you have a different view. And it's like, no, motherfucker. And like, and then it'll be like some square ass motherfucker. I'm like, no, I'm really I could still go over to the South Side and, in the midst of the gang violence and see people and this, that, and the other. These motherfuckers saying this shit don't even go to their neighborhoods like that. Probably not from a neighborhood. It's just I kind of spoke it now and sounded like it. I just choose not to wear it because I did go to college and and there's a certain way one should present themselves, and not even saying crows over. And I say certain way, like you say, professional. Like I don't want to come in, hey, yeah, what's up today? And you're like, oh, this nigga is just not professional at all. Yeah. It's like because I respect what you're doing. And you do things professional, and I don't think it's code switching per se. It's just professional. Because how is it code switching? Both of us black, but so it's like we have to start being accepting of people having different
perspectives,
opinions, different perspectives, without saying, oh, this person isn't this person isn't that. If a kid rides a skateboard or if a kid shoot dice, I mean, they're still of the same ilk, just different perspectives. Like, I mean, have you ever gotten that? If you're from Riverside and you went in South Central, you'd be like, oh, this nigga from Riverside. You from the suburbs. You grew up with a daddy. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
But you get what I'm.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Oreo, acting white.
Exactly. Or your speeches. You speak.
Yeah. I speak very eloquently.
Very erudite. Yes.
That's a good word. I like that, erudite.
Yes. So, and people would say this, that, and other, and it's like, hey, get the fuck out of here. I'm going through the same experience you would go through if you were out there. So how am I less or a not, or my cards revoked, this, that, and other? Yeah. And then I see that as people being their own worst enemies at a point. Because when shit hits the fan, hey, you got a charger? I got one. Hey, yo, I'm low. Oh, hey, Jay, I'm low. All right, listen, I'm about to bring you over some lima beans. Yeah. I've been snoring for a while. It's gonna come a point where we realize, hey, we have to start depending on us a lot more.
Yeah.
And stop, because I always see a lot of the conscious community. A lot of them are they segregate us more than what a quote unquote racist would.
You know how much I love segregation, so that's cool.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that as I'm not dealing with him. He a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not dealing with him. He's a Muslim. She has a perm. Yeah. I'm not dealing with him. Like, why not just say, hey, we're all whatever. You could be you. I could be me.
Before I let you go, how do you feel about Dr. Umar?
He's funny.
Wait, how do you feel about Jesse Peterson?
Jesse Peterson. Which one is Jesse Peterson? Describe. I might need to see. If it's the guy I think you're thinking of, I think that's another one that's funny.
Jesse Peterson.
If it's the older guy. Yeah, that's who I thought you were talking. He's funny. He's funny. But see, I have to ask myself again, is that the plan?
Is he the plan?
All of it. To keep us highly emotional about things and argumentative and taking sides. Instead of just, hey, all right, you think you from here, I'm from there. Let's team up, no matter what.
I think that
true unity.
It depends on. God damn it, we're gonna have to end soon because of the timing of it all. But I've been very much enjoying talking to you. I think it depends on what the person's goals are.
Yeah,
it's hard to. It's hard to unify with someone if their goals are explicitly antithetical to your survival. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's a weird way to end.
I totally get what you're saying. So wait, was that the thing, the Dr. Umar thing?
Here's the thing. So basically, if you look into the camera and just pretend like you're talking to yourself 5 years from now, assuming you've survived the Civil War.
Okay.
If you can say whatever you want to yourself 5 years from now, what would you say? And that's it.
Congratulations, you made it through the Civil War. All the people that called you crazy for saving canned goods and buying bullets and said you were too extreme, they're all dead now. But you're still here. Love you, bruh.